All right, so welcome everybody to the first meeting of the fall 2020 semester for Association for Computing Machinery. Glad you're able to join us here. So let's move on. The first thing we wanted to talk about is who we are, and we're actually just one chapter of a quite large international organization. ACM, if I were to summarize, is just kind of a group that promotes technology. They do papers, scholarships, and all kinds of things like that. And we're just a student chapter. Fortunately, though, they're not pulling the strings around here. So if you have anything you need or suggestions, it's not going to have to go through them. They'll just go through us and hopefully get approved. And everyone's going to introduce themselves now. So I'm the chair starting this semester, Robert Saul. As most of you are, computer science major. And now Amelia is not here, but she's she is here. Amelia, introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. I'm Amelia. I am the PR chair for ACM. Is that good? Was that okay?
Well, you're also the WIT chair. That's pretty big.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm also the president of Women in Tech.
Yeah. Right. And Lila and Abelson, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Lila. I am a computer science major and I'm the treasurer of ACM. I was the chair for Women in Tech last year, and I think I was secretary for ACM last year. So, yep, Rooney.
Hey guys, my name is Abelson and I am the vice chair. I recognize some of you from Project Gustos, and for those of you who don't know about Project Gustos, I am the lead front-end developer for that student initiated project.
So, what we do, we host workshops and demos. There's going to be a short workshop after this, or a short demo at the end of this meeting. So, if you guys have any ideas of things you guys want to see presented, or demos, or things that you want to work on, or projects, let us know, and we'll be happy to learn more about it with you. Or if you have any topic that you want to share with us, I know there's a bunch of different fields that we could get into with our degree, the general degree of software engineering and computer science. So there could be something that one of us don't know. So let us know. We also do company visits. We'll be working on a couple company visits upcoming. So just be on the lookout for the events that we have coming up. We have a couple events coming up with a company in California that's going to be partnered with Women in Tech. So we'll give you more information on that soon. We also do resume and interview prep. So we've done a couple resume building and tech interview challenges or problem solving together. So if you guys are ready to look for a job or an internship, we could definitely help prepare you and brainstorm together on different things. And we also have hackathons. There's a couple of people I feel like I don't know on this call, but majority of them have been to hackathons with me. So, and with most of the people that are on our ACM board. But if you don't know what a hackathon is, it is a 24-hour-ish coding competition where you stay overnight and you work on a project for as long as you can, and then you demo it in front of a lot of big companies in search for internships, career paths, and honestly, just to meet new people and meet people from all different universities. So there's been a couple remote ones. I think Hack NC is happening very soon, and registration's open for that. But if you want to know more about hackathons, we'd be down to do a whole virtual demo on what a day in the life of going into a hackathon looks like.
Okay, so the future of ACM. Guest speakers are one thing at ACM at ECU has not had before. This October there will be a first of many. There is a new website for our chapter in the works. We did have another at one point, but that disappeared along with the previous webmaster. If you're interested in taking part in helping us make this new website, feel free to apply for that position. The site will contain much of the information presented in this meeting with a few key additions. Links to recordings of past meetings and, when applicable, accompanying several materials. Information on upcoming speakers and events. Student projects such as Honest Blocks and Project Custos. And as mentioned before, ECU has its own hackathon. It will happen again. WIT and ACM are going to be hosting ECU Spark virtually next semester, and more details will come in a future date.
So speaking of Women in Tech, Women in Tech is a club that aims at preparing you for a career in tech, and also just creating like a safe space to, like talk about and complain about like crappy teachers, and also hoping to fill in the gaps that they don't teach you about in your classes, just to really truly make you the best candidate that you can for a job in tech. Contrary to what the name suggests, you don't have to be a woman to be a woman in tech. A lot of our members are men or non-binary. It doesn't really matter how you identify. You have a place in Women in Tech. So ACM and Women in Tech will be collaborating on a lot of our larger events, like he just mentioned ECU Spark, but also we're going to be collaborating on other sort of company visits, and then weekly we're going to have a study session that we collaborate on together, in which essentially we're all just going to get into a virtual room, probably on Zoom or in Discord, and you guys can drop by and get some help with your homework, or even just like have a place to again like talk crap about a professor. And then also in Women in Tech, if you join anytime soon, we're going to be having some events very soon from a company called Nutanix. So they're going to do like an info session and a resume review, as well as a tech talk, and sort of do some like hiring and recruiting within their company. And then we're going to have some IBM ones coming up as well. So if you are interested in any of that or anything in this sort of area, feel free to drop by and join WIT, and I'll leave a link on how to do that in the chat. So at this point, does anyone have any questions? Robert, I'm going to say that that's a no.
Yeah, I didn't expect many from this section, but if you do come up with one, you could say it on the mic or write it in the meeting's text channel. And otherwise, we're going to be moving on to the demo portion of things. Should be using the command line. This will be centered around Linux because, when you're working on the campus lab remotely or in person, it's going to be Linux, not OS X, OS 10 rather. So allow me to switch my screen here. Okay, I think it shut the stream down. Sorry about that, but it's back up now. I'm going to give people a couple minutes here.
Hey, real quick, is it cool if I go back to my other meeting?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry guys. It was awesome, but I think that they're still going, and I don't want to be counted as late. So see you guys. I hope that I see you guys in the next meeting.
Yep. All right. This is going to be the basics, but I think that's kind of important because teachers here require that you use Linux, but not a single one of them will teach you anything about it, which is a little annoying. So in our session here, we're going to start with basic navigation. So if you type ls and hit enter, that's going to show you everything that's in your current directory. Now right here, this is my home directory. It's got all the regular folders you'd expect with a couple more. And to move to another directory, you can type cd, which stands for change directory, to there, and you'll be there. And this is a lot of work for Automata, which is not the most fun class. There are some special characters you can use when changing directory, and one of them is just 2 repeated dots. It'll take you to the folder that is above the one you're in now. And you can use ls to view contents of files that you're not even in right now. Like, one sec here, documents. I'm not in that folder anymore, but I could still look at it as long as I have the absolute location. That's good to go. And another very important location for Linux would be cd/. And this is the root of the file system. It's generally, as a user, you won't be working in here, but it's good to know. And if you're ever lost or just want to go back to home, the little tilde, the squiggly line, is how you get back there. And at this point, my screen's full of crap I'd rather not see. So I'll go ahead and clear that with the clear command. Simple enough. And now I'm going to move on to file creation. So first I'm going to make a directory, which is make dir, and then you put the name. So I'll just call this demo. And now if I list the files here, you can look at the bottom left and see the demo folder. So I'm going to go in that. Oh wait, it's case sensitive, by the way. It's a lowercase d. And to create an actual file rather than a directory, use the touch command. I can't explain the name behind that one, but we'll make this file.txt. Now that we have our file and our folder, we can start modifying them. And a good text editor for beginners is Nano. So I'm going to open that file in Nano, and you can type like normal, and the little commands at the bottom tell you how you can achieve, saving, exiting, reading, etc. Control O saves, Control X leaves, and now I've written to that file here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make another directory. I'll call it thingy. Now, the reason I made this is because I want to show off the move command, mv, which is actually used to rename as well. There's not a dedicated renaming tool in the command line. So I'm going to move thingy to my home and rename it thingo. And just to make sure that it did go there, I'm going to list my home directory with the tilde. And yeah, I see it in the top right there, thingo. CP works the same as move, but as you'd expect, it copies, so it retains the original. So I'm gonna do file.txt and make a C++ file with the same contents. Yeah. So when you have an extra file you want to save your 3 kilobytes or whatever, you can go ahead and remove whatever offends you the most. So I'm going to get rid of the text file that I like C++. And now It's just the CPP file there. And I've made a mess of my home directory, so I'm going to clean some things up here. To remove a directory, it's simple enough. You do rm dir and then the name. So I'm going to get rid of thingo, and that works, easy peasy. But if I want to remove demo, it rejects it because there are files in demo. So to remove a directory with anything at all in it, you need to use the rm command again, but at an R, which it means recursive. And that's going to remove every single file beneath it and the folder. You got to be careful using this because you could really screw things up. If you use the remove command, it's not going to the trash can, it's just completely deleting the file. You'll lose it immediately. So now my home is back to how it was. And something important to mention is that instead of retyping every command, you can use the up and down arrow keys to go through your history of commands. So like if I wanted to delete another directory, which I really don't, I could just edit this command here instead of retyping all that. And another great shortcut is if you have, look at this assignments folder, it's very long, the name of it. So I can just type in the first few characters of that and hit, the first few characters of that and hit tab, and it'll complete it for me. And if there are multiple contenders for that name, you have to hit tab twice and it'll show you every example. So there are a lot of things that start with CP. Now, I'm going to show you how to read files quickly, because sometimes you don't want to go through a bunch of nonsense just to look at a little text file. So I'm going to find one in my assignments for Carl's class. Okay, so now I know all the folders that are in there. I can view one of those. Okay, there's a C++ file. Look at that. I'm going to use the cat command on that file. Let's see. You see I'm using the arrows there to make it a lot easier because that's such a long directory name. So cat shows me everything that's in that file. In this case, I can use the scroll bar on the side, but not necessarily capable in every case of doing that. So a great command for larger files is the less command, because it starts at the top and allows you to navigate up and down with the arrow keys. I can see everything in this file and just press Q to quit. One last command that you might not use often, but still good to know about, is grep. So what this does is you feed it the output of something like cat, less, or a file using this pipe character. It's right above the enter key. And then you type in some kind of string. So I'm going to put Carl in here. And it'll give you every line that contains something matching that string. You could just use a word or regular expressions if you know those. It could be very useful for larger hunts. And the last thing I want to show you all is ways to get help using different things like copy here. So if you type man, that stands for manual, and then the command, it gives you a list of options. And apparently if you wait too long, it just goes with the default. It's very comprehensive. It'll tell you everything you need to know and a lot of stuff you don't care about. You just press Q to quit. You can scroll like less here. A better option for just finding out something quickly would be -- help after the command name. There are some commands that don't have help, but most of the ones you'd use will. And it's a great way to find out, like, sure, you know how to use the basics, but if there's some special use case for what you're doing, then you use help, and it'll tell you different characters to add at the end with the little dash there. Like when I did remove with the R at the end, that was a special option to enable. And I'd like to say you should practice this instead of using Google, because over time this will be much faster. Because uh, the people on Stack Overflow and like that don't know what they're talking about half the time, and it's just a better option in my opinion. Would anyone have any questions about any of those commands there, or something else they'd be interested in knowing how to do? I'll give you a minute. And again, this is being recorded and uploaded, so. All right, well, thank you all for coming. And unless one of my fellow officers has anything to add, that'll do it for me. I'm going to post a handout that goes with this demo. It's kind of a cheat sheet for all the commands in the meetings text channel real quick. And hopefully you get some use out of that. Yeah, that'll do it for this meeting then. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.